Hi everyone. So let's talk about some properties of logarithms. So there's the product rule that if you're taking the log of two quantities being multiplied, then you can break that up into two logs that are being added. Now here's why that kind of makes sense. Do you remember when we multiplied bases? What did we do with our exponents? We added them, right? So if we're multiplying x and y, we're going to add our logs. Same sort of thing works with division. If I have log base a of x divided by y, then I'm going to split that up into two separate logs and subtract. So remember when we were dividing our bases, we subtracted our exponents? That's how that's related. The power rule, now the power rule is one of those that you are going to love. It saves your life all the time. It's that if you have a power right here, you can pop him out front, and then you have that number times log base a of x. So that way everything is on the same level now. Now the change of base rule, I never ever memorize that because if you know the power rule, then you can use the change of base rule. I'm just not the kind of person that if there's more formulas that could be nice to have, it's like, okay, but you're never going to remember that. I want you to know how it works so that way you don't have to memorize anything. Equality rule, if I have log base a of a number and log base a of another number and they're equal, those two numbers must be equal. Okay, so now other things that we need to know. ln, we talked about how that was the natural log, right? The natural log is the inverse of the natural base. So whenever we have a natural log or an e, we're going to use the other to get rid of it, okay? So if I have the natural log of e to the x, natural log and e just cancel out and I'm left with x. When I have e to the power of the natural log of x, once again, natural log and e cancel out, so I'm just left with x. Okay, so let's go through and expand this first log. So I have log base 4 of u, actually, you know what, let's make this a little bit more difficult. Let's make that v squared, shall we? Let's mix it up. It'll be fun. Okay, so log base 4 of u divided by v squared. So first of all, u and v are being u and v are being divided, right? Cool. So since they're being divided, that means I have to subtract my logs. So I'm going to have log base 4 of u minus log base 4 of v squared. So since v has an exponent on it, I can take that exponent and bring it out right in front of that log. So this whole thing expanded is going to be log base 4 of u minus 2 log base 4 of v. Go ahead and try the next one. So here you might have noticed that log base 2 of 2 just ends up being 1, right? If you didn't notice that, no problem. Now let's go ahead and condense this last logarithm. I'm going to move my face. So condense means we're just going to smush it back into 1, okay? So these coefficients out front, those used to be powers. So we're going to bring them out front. So we have log base 7 of x to the 4th minus log base 7 of y to the 4th. Now, since I was subtracting those exponents, that means since I'm subtracting those logs, that means I have to divide those things that are inside. So I'm going to have log base 7 of x to the 4th over y to the 4th. That's also the same thing as log base 7 of x over y to the 4th. Go ahead and try the last one. All right, so that 6 had to become an exponent again, and since we were adding our logs, that means we have to multiply the stuff on the inside. All right, see you guys a little bit later.